Today we will learn about understanding OER. OER means Open Educational Resources and CC. CC means Common Creative Licenses. And also we will learn about sources of OER. Access to learning through open educational resources. How all rights reserved copyright restricts access to education and research and also limits innovation. Expensive for the users, limited or no access to quality textbooks, dropouts in higher education. Time consuming in the production of the resources and repeated investment on the similar educational resources. So that is the wastage of resources. Low scalability, less efficiency, limited or no access to the quality research data or articles, slow innovation from social point of view. Objectives are OER for crisis management, understanding OER and CC licenses, integrating OER in teaching learning assessment. Discussion questions are: what does open in ODL mean? What does open in OER mean? Why do ODL institutions need to integrate OER? OER, Open Educational Resources, is equal to ODL plus FOSS. FOSS is free and open source software. Open in ODL, opening up of access to education. Open in FOSS, free of restrictions. In FOSS, you can use source code, then it is free of restrictions. You can use, copy, modify, improve, adapt, fix bugs and redistribute collaborative developer communities. ODL. ODL is Open and Distance Learning. Opening up of access to education, especially for groups that have been excluded from the traditional higher education system. See, Professor Richard Baronek, he founded OpenStax in 2012 because he wanted to make college textbooks free for students, and also he wanted to make open license for the faculty who could use easily and customize them to create the perfect courseware. Level of OER awareness increased in India but did not translate to increased OER adoption. 67.6% of the students could not afford original textbooks. Okay. So 19.1% books were not available in local market. So 13.3% were unwilling to spend more money on the books. You can observe this graph. Original was 73%, then old books were only 3%, then chapters photocopy 17% in green it is shown, and then naked photocopy, print copy is 3%. Status and target. Gross enrollment ratio now is 26%. You can observe in the slide. So by 2035, gross enrollment ratio will increase to 50%. Global internet users, you can observe this graph, how it is increasing. Internet users per 100 inhabitant, you can see this graph, how it is gradually increasing. Issues are connectivity and electricity problems, access to platforms, then content, and also capacity of the teachers. What NEP 2020 says: inclusion and access. Enhance educational access to disadvantaged groups including Divyang students. Digital platforms. Digital platforms and ongoing ICT based educational initiatives to be optimized and expanded. Blended learning. Emphasis on effective models of blended learning. Content creation. Content creation, digital repository and dissemination, technology integration in teaching, learning and assessment. Expansion of platforms. Expansion of existing e-learning platforms such as Diksha, Swayam, etc. Pilot studies. A series of pilot studies to be conducted. Online regulation says highlights are standards for infrastructure and staff, instructional processes, 40% learning resources can be sourced from other sources such as open educational resources. So there are two modes. We have ODL and online. ODL mode can have multiple modes and blended learning, whereas online mode can purely have online delivery. What's happening in the world of online learning? Synchronous and asynchronous. Here we have webinars, online workshops, courses, programs blended with face-to-face online communities. Some history of OER in brief. During 1999, Rice University opened OpenStax. Then 2001, MIT OpenCourseWare. During 2002, UNESCO Forum on the Impact of OpenCourseWare for Higher Education in Developing Countries. During 2012, OER Paris Declaration. During 2017, the Year of Open. During 2017, the Second World OER Congress. During 2019, UNESCO Recommendation on OER. UNESCO Recommendation on OER. Recommendation on OER 2019 outlines 5 areas of action. Building capacity of stakeholders to create, access, reuse, adapt and redistribute OER. Developing supportive policy. Encouraging inclusive and equitable quality OER. Nurturing the creation of sustainability models for OER. Facilitating international cooperation. UNESCO OER Recommendation 2019. Building capacity of stakeholders to create, access, use, adapt and redistribute OER. Developing supportive policy. Encourage inclusive and equitable quality OER. Nurturing the creation of sustainability models for OER. Facilitating international cooperation. OER are teaching, learning and research materials in any medium that reside in the public domain or have been released under an open license that permits their free use and in some instances repurposing by others. Copyright plus open license is equal to some rights reserved. More sharing. You can reuse, remix, revise, redistribute and retain. It is more scalability, means declining cost, zero marginal cost. More innovation, that is derivative works possible. Less time, faster production of resources. Wider access to quality resources and data. Wider research experience, that is data mining. Wider exposure of the writer himself or herself rather than the publisher. OER for inclusive learning. Benefits of OER. Collaborations and partnerships, knowledge sharing, cost savings and efficiency, quality improvements and standard alignment, support for independent learning, communication and community engagement. Paris Declaration on OER. Faster awareness and use of OER. Encourage the development and adaptation of OER in a variety of languages and cultural context. Encourage the open licensing of educational materials produced with public funds. What is open? It's about open license used to share educational materials. No permission required as long as the open license is respected. We have 5 R. First one is reuse, copy verbatim, revise, adapt and edit, remix, combine with other materials, redistribute, share with others, retain, make, own and control copies. Close to open, openness, 5 R's model, remix, redistribute, revise, remix and retain. Openness, weak open, open access, strong open, open licenses. Open educational resources is equal to free access plus legal rights for 5 R's plus downloadable plus editable plus open file. CC means Creative Commons. Creative Commons is a non-profit organization that aims to promote better identification, negotiation and reuse of content for the purpose of creativity and innovation. The CC licenses have been designed to offer a flexible and straightforward tool for people who value access to and use of their works over monetary incentives while still monitoring some rights. Creative Commons. Creative Commons, a non-profit organization founded by Larry Lessig ETAL in 2001. Goal is to increase the amount of openly works freely available for legal use, sharing, repurposing and remixing. Provide easy to use open license for creative works. Help creators retain copyright while permitting others to reuse. Ensure licensors get the credit for their work they deserve. Develop technology like CC Search that makes openly licensed material easier to discover and use. Current CC license version is 4.0 International License. Copyright versus Creative Commons license. Copyright. Copyright ownership is retained. In Creative Commons licenses, copyright ownership is retained. Copyright. Author does not grant rights to the public, whereas in Creative Commons licenses grants rights in advance. In copyright, permission required to reuse, whereas in CC licenses, permission not required, attribution is required. In copyrights, you need to contact the copyright holder. This takes a long time. In CC licenses, no need to ask permission to use, just create proper attribution in the TASL format. T means title, A means author, S is the source, L is link. 4 basic CC license elements. License component, the other one is description. Attribution within the bracket by. Attribution must be given to the creator of the copyright work. Share alike, SA, permits others to distribute derivative works only under a license identical to that of the original work. Non-commercial, that is NC, permits others to copy, distribute, reuse the work including any derivative works based upon it, but for non-commercial purposes only. No derivative works, ND, permits others to copy, distribute, display and perform exact copies of the work only, but cannot make derivative works based upon it. Creative Commons core licenses. We have 6 CC licenses. Attribution. So, this is the attribution symbol. Then attribution share alike. Attribution no derivatives. Attribution non-commercial. Attribution non-commercial share alike. Attribution non-commercial no derivatives. Most open to least open CC license. CC by attribution. Reuse, distribute, remix, repurpose, even commercially, provide appropriate credit. CC by SA. Attribution, share alike. Reuse, distribute, remix, repurpose, even commercially, provide appropriate credit, but distribute your creation under the same license. CC by ND. Attribution, no derivatives. Reuse, distribute, even commercially, not to modify material, provide appropriate credit. CC by NC. Attribution, non-commercial. Reuse, distribute, non-commercially, provide appropriate credit. CC by NC SA. Attribution, non-commercial, share alike. Reuse, distribute, non-commercially under the same license, provide appropriate credit. CC by NC ND. Attribution, non-commercial, no derivatives. Reuse, distribute, non-commercially, not to modify material, provide appropriate credit. Creative Commons license explained. So, this image explains the Creative Commons licenses. Source Creative Commons Kiwi by Placans CC by. Creative Commons CC by SA, CC by ND, CC by NC, CC by NC, CC by NC SA. Types of CC licenses and conditions. Creative Commons CC by attribution, CC by SA, share alike. CC by NC, non-commercial. CC by NCSA, non-derivative. CC by ND, CC by NCND. Open licenses, least open to most open. Most open is public domain, then CC by, then CC by SA, then CC by NC, CC by NCSA. The least is CC by ND and CC by NCND. Okay, these are the Creative Commons. UNESCO 2002 OER concept, UNESCO 2012 OER Congress, Paris OER declarations. Why use Creative Commons licenses? There are three layers of licenses. One is legal code, human readable and machine readable. Legal code, expensive legal languages tested in several cases. Commons code, simple icon based approach to explain what you can do, what you can't. Digital code enables search engines to search and locate through CC rights expression language. All rights reserved, whereas in Creative Commons, some rights reserved, that is CC licenses. Copyright versus Creative Commons. Copyrights, in case of copyrights, all rights reserved, whereas in CC licenses, some rights reserved. CC license compatibility chart. So you can just have a look at this CC license compatibility chart. How do we acknowledge? TASL. T means title, author, source and link. Wikibooks is free. You can just browse en.wikibooks.org. UGC ODL and online programs regulations 2020. It allows up to 40% of the total courses being offered in a particular program in a semester through the online learning courses or massive open online courses. Online learning shall have the 4-quadrant approach. 60% of e-learning material shall be developed in-house. 40% can be sourced from OER and other institutions. Convert the courses into online programs. Understanding open education and OER. Open education is a collection of practices that utilize technologies and tools that facilitate collaborative, flexible learning and open sharing of teaching learning practices. The below diagram explains the understanding of OER and open education. Why open education matters? Open educational resources, teaching, learning and research materials in any medium, digital or otherwise, that reside in the public domain or have been released under an open license that permits no cost access, use, adaptation and redistribution by others with no or limited restrictions. Open license respects the intellectual property rights of the copyright owner and provides permissions granting the public the rights to access, reuse, repurpose, adapt and redistribute educational materials. Open educational resources, OER, are teaching, learning, and research materials that are either in the public domain or licensed in a manner that provides everyone with free and perpetual permission to engage in the 5R activities. Creative Commons. 5 R's of OER. Creative Commons license grants retain, reuse, revise, remix, redistribute rights. Retain right to make, own and control copies of the content. Second one is reuse, right to use the content in a wide range of ways. Revise, right to adapt, adjust, modify or alter the content itself. Remix, right to combine the original or revised content with other open content to create something new. Redistribute, right to share copies of the original content, your revisions or your remixes with others. Open licenses. Open licenses is a set of conditions applied to an original work to grant permission for anyone can make use of that work at no cost. Build on it, customize it or improve it with no or minimal restrictions as long as they follow the conditions of the license. A work refers to an original creation protected with copyright. That may be document, image or video, song or software. Common open licenses. Creative Commons for written works, music, visual and other artistic expressions. GNU free documentation licenses for software documentation. Types of OER and usage by educators. Open textbooks, full courses and course modules, multimedia and interactive content, quizzes, games, ancillary material, for example, lecture notes, lesson plans, PowerPoint presentations, assignments and activities. Why OER? Increasing access to quality learning materials. Broadening student access to a variety of learning resources. Saving textbooks costs for students. Improving student performance and satisfaction. Reducing faculty content development time. Adapting creativity for improved learning outcomes. Promoting collaborative teaching learning practices. Providing quality education and lifelong learning for all. Integrating OER in teaching learning assessment. That is reuse of OER. Enhance an existing course by integrating OER. Improve existing material or replace expensive textbooks with open textbooks. Create new part of course materials by using or repurposing OER. You can also create new courses by using, reusing and repurposing OER. Assign OER based learning activities to students. Develop OER enabled online courses and MOOCs using an LMS, that is Moodle. OER enabled activities and assessments. OER workflow. This diagram explains the workflow of OER. Impact of OER. Impact of OER since 2012, OpenStax textbooks saved over $1.7 billion. It also served 22 million students and 36,000 instructors. 42 books for college and high school courses. Demand for OpenStax more than doubled in the pandemic. BC Open Textbooks Impact. Known open textbook adoptions in BC since 2012 to 2022. Just observe this. Instructor Anita Serrano developed the Spanish e-book as an open educational resource as part of teaching and learning with technologies faculty engagement initiative. Students were each paying $337.50. 25 Spanish students collectively saved approximately $8,440. Sources of OER. Open Education Consortium, OER Consortium, OER Commons, OpenStax College, Open Textbooks BC Campus, Sailor, then Open Textbook Network, Open Textbooks SUNY, Intech, Open Access Textbooks, Merlot, Open Michigan, University of Edinburgh, Video Lectures, ORELT, Open Resources for English Language Teaching, that is called Commonwealth of Learning, MIT OCW, John Hopkins OCW, Tufts TUFTS OCW, OER Africa, called DOER, Open Education Europa, Open Learn UK OU, CMU OLI, MOOC, Yale Open Courses, DOAB, DOAJ, Flickr Images, Skill Commons, Workforce Development. University of Minnesota Open Textbooks, Open SUNY Textbooks, State University of New York Libraries, Intech Science, Technology and Medicine, Lyrics with Open Textbooks, CK12 Flexbook Registered Textbooks, Open Source Digital Textbooks, Open Textbook Network, LibreText, Pressbooks Directory. Open Courses and Course Materials. MIT Open Courseware, Open Learn UK OU, CMU OLI, Open Course Library, Sailor Academy, Yale Open Courses, University of Irvine, NPTEL Online Courses, OERU, Lumen Learning, Achieving the Dream, Call Oasis Course Learning Materials. Organizations providing zero cost course materials. Affordable Learning Georgia, BC Campus Open ED, CK12, College Open Textbooks, Creative Commons Search, Lumen, OER Commons, Open Course Library at Open Washington, Open Learning Initiative at Carnegie Mellon University, OpenStack College, Open Textbook Library, Merlot, Orange Grove Digital Repository, PHET, Interactive Simulations, Open Education Consortium, Khan Academy, Sailor.org, Wiki Educator, Wikibooks, School for ED Skill Commons. Open Education Initiatives in India. NPTEL, National Program on Technology Enhanced Learning. CC by NCSA. IIT Bombay Spoken Tutorial. Learn FOSS, Free and Open Source Software. CC by SA 4.0. PG Pathashala by MHRD and NMEICT. E-content in 71 subjects at PG level. Vidyamitra CC by SA 4.0. MOOCs. NPTEL 7 IITs and IIS. IIT Bombay X Partners. IIMBX ISB SWAYAM. Platforms or repositories searching and finding OER. For images, you have to use FLICKR, Flickr Creative Commons, that is www.flickr.com/Creative Commons. For video, you should use Vimeo, vimeo.com Creative Commons. Google Advanced Search. You can search the text in Google Advanced Search. So this is called Commonwealth of Learning's Oasis, where you will get the free course material. Oasis. This is Commonwealth of Learning. E-library. Is all YouTube videos are OER? How you will use YouTube channel to release your video content as? Popular OER repositories. These are the repositories. http nsour.krc.net.in. So like this you can observe. Repositories. Content repository, portal repository, content plus portal repositories. You can just go to these websites and find, okay. For images, you can go to flickr.com. If you want to search the text, you have to go to Google Advanced Search. For video, Vimeo, Vimeo. And for text and all, if you want to search the text, you can go to oercommons.org. So you can have e-library in Oasis, called e-library. Just observe this website. You can visit these websites. For Wikibooks, Wikimedia Commons, OpenStack CNX, Khan Academy, all these websites we have given very clearly here. You can just observe this. So you have learnt about the understanding of what is OER and the sources of OER through these slides. Now you know where you will get the open resources from these slides. We have given you the list of website addresses. Please do visit those website addresses to get your images, videos, then course materials, e-books. So make the best use of these website addresses and utilize